Good afternoon. Yeah, live here in the studio, 100.1 FM WPTP Live with my guest, Miss Karen Rose. We are here to give it to you all right before the end of the year. Y'all, this is an exciting time in our life. We are ending 2022 and we have another chance in 2023 to make it right. So, we're gonna talk about that a little bit. What do we need to do to make it right in 2023? And I'm looking for my live light as we are here on the studio to come on because I want to make sure that you all hear this because I don't want you to miss it. Um, One of the things I think I want to do first of all is to make sure I'm right with God. That's number one. Because God knows what's going to happen in 2023, 24, 25 to infinity till he gets ready to come back. So if you're right with him, then you know that your steps are going to be ordered according to his plan. So I want to make sure I'm right with him. And I know tonight and probably all over the city, churches will be having their night services leading into the new year. And I plan to be at Greater Emmanuel Apostolic Church here in Chattanooga, located at 100 Tunnel Boulevard. So if you don't have a church to go to or your church is not having services tonight and you want a place to come, join me and my family at Greater Emmanuel Apostolic Church here in Chattanooga. That's again 400 Tunnel Boulevard. So as I was thinking about this show, I was thinking, a lot of stuff has happened, Karen, in 2022. I mean, a lot of stuff. We've lost a lot of lives. I mean, it's just been crazy. We have had transitions going on in the city, in the county. We've had elections this year. It has been wild. Um, I was watching the Tennessee Vols last night take on Clemson. You all know Tennessee, UT Knoxville is my alma mater, and I was sitting in the living room shouting and screaming, "Come on, y'all, get it!" And they won. So go Big Orange! They won the Orange Bowl last night, and I am so excited because anytime your alma mater wins something, you feel like you won too. So kudos to that great team and that great coach the coaching staff for leading those young men into victory. And I was told they are going to compete with whoever wins the game between Georgia and Ohio State, which that's going to happen, I think, January the 5th in the Peach Bowl. That's going to happen in Atlanta. So for the SEC championship game, it may be Tennessee versus whoever wins that game. So I'm really looking forward to that. Uh, and you all know we did a lot of stuff here, Karen, at Autumn Park Development Corporation. We were blessed in 2022 with a very nice seed. I call it a big grant because people say seed money, that's just a little bit to get you going, but we had a big old seed. I'm gonna call it a big seed, a big tree uh, whatever you want to call it. It was big for us. And because of that big seed money that was given to us by the Hamilton County Board of Commissioners, we were able to do a major transformation of the historic Pineywood Elementary School. You all know it was built in '63 at the height of the civil rights movement, and nothing had been done new to this building. I mean, no heating and air. They used a chiller system, which that was outdated and wasn't working. The roof had to be repaired or replaced, and everything was just old and outdated, right? So we were over here at this wonderful blessing that God has blessed us with this building for the community, and we needed some update. And Lord behold, the county commissioners, Lord bless the soul of each and every one of those young men and women that gave us $450,000 to see a big transformation happen here at our facility. And later, our marketing director, Dr. Slime, is going to show some pictures of some of the great things that we have been able to do, and we're still doing some stuff to the facility. We are now in WPTP's new studio booth, which is now enclosed, and I'm very excited about that. our, talk show host saying this room is too big. When people come in, it's distracting because we're all in one big room, and so, we were able to do some renovation to this part of our facility. We are now enclosed in a hoop. Don't it feel good? And, we have heat in here, it's warm and cozy, and, I'm just excited about that. I wanna thank those great team of people who came on board and still working with us to do some other completion of projects in this facility. Uh, Mario Construction Company and Remodeling Company, I wanna thank him, did a magnificent job, throughout this, event hall and also the radio station. River City Electric, you all are amazing. A building that's 63 years old, we've got some electrical things that have to be done new and over and, just to make sure the building is safe and to make sure we don't, have, things going off as we add new things to the facility and our, energy source that we have of things that start popping and clicking and going on and off. And so, they have come in and updated our event hall, which you'll see some pictures of that. It's amazing. We've got some LED lighting in there with our chandeliers and a new area for the community. We've got pool tables in there, a nice big beautiful bar that was custom made just for the event hall, thanks to Gilcast Property. We are just really, really blessed over here. So 2022 uh, has been an eventful year. You all know I had a health scare in 2022, but the Lord brought me through that. And I tell my testimony because somebody need to hear it out there because maybe you've gone through a health crisis and maybe you're feeling really, down about it. But I can tell you, with God being there for you, you can make it through anything. I had two major brain seizures. I'm talking about where your eyes roll back in your head, you're biting your tongue, you're foaming at the mouth, lose consciousness, all of that. I had 2 major grand mal seizures and a huge stroke, and that happened in July. And in July, I was, sent to the hospital by ambulance. I didn't even know where I was. I woke up in, the hospital in Dalton, Georgia. The doctors were smacking me on my face, saying, Doctor Woods, do you know where you are?" And I looked around, I was still laying on the ground, I was looking up at the lights, and I looked down at them, and I said, "No, I don't know where I'm at." And they told me that I had 2 grand mal seizures, and at that time, they didn't know I had a stroke, so they had to do a scan on my brain to find out what happened, and when the scan came back, it showed positive for a stroke. And I was laying there as the doctor was telling me the information, and I was saying, "Well," and I was feeling my hands because you all know I'm a surgeon, and I do surgery every day. Um, and I was thinking about, "Lord, can I use my hands? And, am I paralyzed? Can I move my body?" And I started moving my legs and my feet and my toes and my fingers and my neck and start moving my arms, and I said, "Well, if I've had 2 major grand mal seizures, and I've had a stroke." I said, "I feel smarter than I was before I had seizures." And I said, "And I'm not paralyzed, I don't think, and so what happened?" And the doctor looked at me and said, "You are a blessed woman. Your stroke occurred in a part of the brain where there's nothing going on." So I just wanna first give praise to God for bringing me through that, 'cause it could have been so catastrophic that I wouldn't even be talking to you all today. And I tell everybody it's kinda like the 3 shepherd boys that were thrown in the fire. They were scared to death, and Jesus got in there with them, and all of a sudden you saw 4 people, and that was Jesus in there with them. When they came out, they had no sign that they had ever been in a fire. And, I felt like, Daniel in the lion's den. When he was thrown in the lion's den, he was scared to death. But the Lord locked the jaws of the lions so they couldn't consume him. And when he came out, there was no sign that he had ever been in the lion's den. And then I felt like Jonah in the whale. The whale consumed Jonah, swallowed him whole, and then, Jonah was scared to death, and God tickled his stomach, of the whale, and he spit him out, regurgitated him out. And that's kinda how it feels. It feel like I've been in the fire, it feels like I've been in the lion's den, it feels like I've been in the belly of a whale, but God was with me, and God protected me, and God seen me through it. And even though I was frightened, God gave me a new direction, and He gave me a new pathway. And I knew then what my challenges were, but I even know better now what the orders are from the Lord. And sometimes God have to do something profound to you to get your attention. He wanted me to listen to him, and he wanted direction. So if you're going through something today, take that time to just have a one-on-one conversation and talk with the Lord. Go into meditation and let the Lord minister to you to find out what it is that God wants you to do going forward. That's the best way I can explain it, is that when God is with you, it doesn't matter what you're going through, because He's gonna see you through it. It don't matter. It doesn't matter, because the one thing that He left with you, and you all know I try to do so much. Sometimes people tell me, "You just can't do everything." But the one thing that He wanted me to get out of all of this is that this battle is not yours. It's not yours, Elenora. This battle is not. It's the Lord. All He wants us to do is to be a vessel. And whatever He sends us through is for Him to get the glory at the end. This testimony is for somebody, for God to get glory, to let you know that He is still in control and He's still running everything, that we don't have to worry about tomorrow. All we need to do is focus on the now. Don't worry about yesterday, because yesterday is gone. Don't worry about the future, because God holds the future in His hand. All we gotta do is concentrate on the now. What does God want us to do now? What do we need to have our faith in right now? What do we need to be working toward right now? Because faith without works is dead. So don't think, "Oh, I got the faith the size of a mustard seed, and God said if I have the faith the size of a mustard seed, He'll grant me the size of my heart." You left out one thing. If you work, you gotta work, you gotta put your time in, you gotta do something. You can't lay in the bed and say, "Oh, I need some money to pay my light bill. I'm just gonna lay here because my faith is strong," and not think you gotta go work. You gotta go do something, and He'll provide the money for you. He'll provide the income, the job, whatever it is that you need, but you have got to get up and do the work so that He can bless you. So that's my testimony for 2023, 2022 going into 2023. The blessing that God has blessed us with in this community, in the city of Chattanooga and Hamilton County, has been enormous. And I give Him praise, and I give Him thanks, and I worship Him, and I'll continue to worship Him all the days of my life. Because what else is it to do, Karen? What else is it to do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What is some praise that you wanna give the Lord for 2022 that you want everybody to know? Because everybody got something to be thankful.
Well, I'm just thankful for my family. I've had the privilege of having my 2 children with me this past year. My daughter had been out of town, and she came back home, and so, I've been supporting her, helping her to get her, business started, and also my son, helping him to to come into his own, you know? And, me being retired at this time, I haven't been doing, those the regular type of
And that's
job.
a blessing. You retired?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. Did y'all hear
Yes.
her? This woman has been blessed to be retired. Oh my God. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes, so, you was talking about the services and stuff that you have with your church, and I attend Second Missionary Baptist Church. We will have our watch night service, and it will be, streamed live on Facebook and, our YouTube channel and our website, and so we'll be having our night service tonight as well at 6,
Okay.
but it'll be streamed live, and so, I'm blessed to be a part of Second. I've been there all my life, and, we have a younger minister that's been taking the helm, and he's, been doing a great job.
Kudos to our 2 pastors. Kudos to Pastor Paul Warfield Jr. and Pastor Ernestine Reed.
Ernest Reed.
Ernest Reed. I don't know why I said Ernestine, forgive me. Pastor Ernest Reed for doing a fine job in leading their flock. 'Cause there's many other pastors out there that are doing a magnificent job of leading the flock, and I feel there's like a different air, you know? In 2020, when COVID hit us, even before COVID, it seemed like the air was more dangerous. It seemed like it was just more crimes, and it seemed like people was just running wild, just rampant, shootings here, fights there, just all kind of chaos, not just here in Chattanooga, but all around the world. And I feel a sense of peace, although there's still some stuff going on, the air is it feels different to me. I don't know. I was driving down the street yesterday, heading back to Cohutta, which is that's another blessing. Lord bless me to move closer to my office in Dalton. He blessed me with a home in Cohutta, and it's just beautiful. And I was looking out, getting back to what I was saying. I was driving home, and it just felt different. The air, the streets, the light, everything. The cars just was driving beside me. Everybody was seemingly calm. Nobody was driving crazy, Traffic can be crazy. Everybody was seemingly in control, and they were calm. And then as I was sitting at my, uh, kitchen nook, last night and looking out my window, I saw 8 deer go across the backyard, and it was just one of the most beautiful scenes. First, I saw 2 or 3. I said, "Oh, look at the deers. They're out looking for something to eat." And then I saw a 4th deer, a 5th deer. I said, "Uh-oh, they have made it known to the family that it's safe." And then the next thing I know, there were 8 of 'em. There were 8 of 'em in my backyard, and they were looking for some food. And it was just the most serene, beautiful view that one could ever get. And so I thank God for the little country life, you know, living in Chattanooga all of my life, being born and raised, you don't get to see deers unless you see one on the side of the road dead or somebody's hit one. But just to see, the wildlife, just feel free to roam and you to be able to watch them from your window, it's just the most beautiful, serene blessing, that I received in 2022. And, so then I saw a car pull up, you know, where we live, and I saw 'em take off because they saw the car lights. They saw the car lights, and the deer just took off running. And I was like, "Oh, where's my camera? I need to take pictures of them roaming." But I didn't get a picture of them, videotape of them, running. And they ran so fast, you would have thought they were pulling Santa Claus on the sleigh. They were running fast. I mean, like, they were just, like, galloping just so fast, they disappeared in a matter of a second. They were gone. And, so in thinking about how fast things come and how fast things go, 2022, in just a few more hours, y'all,
Here we go.
it's gonna be gone. No matter what happened in 2022, it's gone. And 2023 will be here. So I wanna talk about what we gonna do in 2023. God knows what we need to be doing, but there are some things that we know we need to be doing too. So we done said we're gonna, have a stronger, relationship with the Lord and, get our, I guess you would say instruction or our path ordered from Him. We're gonna be more attentive to hearing what God has to say. I wanna do some decluttering. Everybody can
Well,
do
I
some
need
decluttering.
yeah, I need to declutter myself.
Yeah, I wanna do some decluttering, when you go home, think about it. If things are cluttered up, you know, first thing you wanna do is go to your room, shut it up. You don't wanna see all that clutter, because when stuff is cluttered up, your mind seems like you just can't get calm and comfortable. So I wanna make at least one good section of my house where I know I can do, and it's not a lot, you know?
I think I need that as well.
We go all declutter. Um, I'm gonna spend this, you know? Um, I think I have spent too much. I'm guilty.
That's not me.
I'm guilty. I'm guilty. So, but I do pay my credit cards off. If I charge it, Imma pay it off, but sometimes I do things that I have to have on my credit card because you get them little bonuses and you earn cash on some of them. So rather than use my debit card, I use
Get points.
I get my points. You earn cash on Apple Pay, and you earn cash on, I got 2 or 3 other cards you earn cash on. So rather than use my debit card, which I think now they're trying to do some cash back on the debit cards with, Bank of America.
I think they do have points on these debit
Yeah.
cards.
Yeah, but, not to say anything bad about the other banks. I bank with Regions, I bank with, Bank of America and First Horizon, so all of y'all good with me. I know there's some other banks, but y'all are good with me, so I don't wanna give out a shout out to one bank and not say something about the other banks. They all have excellent services,
Okay.
and, each bank has its strength. So, you may have one bank that has a more strength in mortgaging, one has more strength in customer services with, financing, and one just may be good with just, being your regular bank account and savings account. Maybe they offer some perks that other ones don't offer. So for whatever reason, I've got, 3 bank accounts and some other stuff going on, but I did spend a lot, and, I'm gonna ask the Lord to forgive me on some stuff that I did that I may not should have done, and I'm gonna be better. This year, I'm gonna be better. So y'all don't be calling me, asking me for no money this year. No, I'm just teasing. No, whatever the Lord placed on my heart to do, 'cause when you think about it, if the Lord bless you with much, much is required. Much is required. So when you start earning money, just remember God made that possible. You didn't just all of a sudden just, get this wonderful career job or sack of money, however you got your money, for you to be selfish and just hold it. And I think there's one part in the Bible where the Lord, blessed 3 people or 2 people with talents. And one person took his talent and spread it out, and he got triple blessings back. And then one person spread out a little bit, but he didn't spread it out as much as the first one. So he got a little something, but he didn't get as much as the first. Then the other one said, "Ooh, I'm gonna save this. I need to save all mine because they spending all their money, giving it away. I'm just gonna, lay on top of mine." And then the Lord came back to see what they had done with the talents or the blessings that he had given each one of them, and he was pleased with the first one. He was pleased with the second one, although he thought he coulda did a little bit better. But then the third person thought, "Oh, he's gonna be really happy with me because I still got all that he gave me. I didn't waste a dime." And the Lord was like, "I'm so disappointed with you. I blessed you with this, and you hoarded. You didn't do anything with yours, and you didn't get nothing in return. You didn't make nothing off of it." So I think the lesson in that is if you give, it's gonna come back sevenfold. If you hold on to it, it'll be like water, you know, in your pockets, in your hand. It's just you just lose, you know. It won't grow, you know, and you'll lose every penny of it. And then there was another story in the Bible where the man, you know, worked and saved his money up he slayed on it, and then he thought, "Ah, you know, I got all this money up, I got all this saved up, I'm gonna rest here, and I ain't gotta do nothing no more now. I'm safe. I'm good." And then the death angels came for him that very night. So, when you think about what should you be doing, I think all of us have a privilege from the Lord. He bless us to bless somebody else and not to just hoard it up for yourself. Because God is not going to be happy with that. Not my God, not the Lord that I serve. He's not going to be happy with that. So some people say, you do too much. Some people tell me I do too much. I don't think I do too much. I think I do what God wants me to do. And when God don't want me to do something, then he'll profoundly do something to me to let me know that I'm doing too much. And so until God tells me that I'm doing too much, or till God tells you that you're doing too much, I think in 2023, we need to all do better at doing something more than what we didn't do to help our fellow man. That's what it's really all about. If everybody was helping one another, we wouldn't have some of the crises that we have. I think about the homeless people that don't have anywhere to sleep at night. And where they are sleeping, it's not safe. The temperatures dropped down below freezing. And I thought about, somebody's going to die. There's no way they can survive in this temperature. And then I thought about the people that were hungry, that didn't have food on the table. The children, the parents, maybe they're there, maybe they're not, maybe they're half there, maybe they're halfway not there. The children whose little bellies don't get filled up at night. And they eating stuff that's not good for them, potato chips and juice or whatever they can get their hands on, but it's not nutritious. I think about the people who are depressed because maybe life gave them a blow that was too profound for their mind to conceptualize or to wrap around, and they're depressed. The mental health condition of people. What can we do to help those populations of people? I see them every day in my office, and that's an opportunity for me to minister to those people when I have the opportunity to see them in my office. People who are on drugs and just can't get off of them because now the drug has taken control of their central nervous system, their brain, and they're no longer in control of the drug. The drug is now in control of them. So before we start passing judgment on people who are on drugs, think about A, how did they get there? You know, and B, now that they're there, what can we do to help them? I know we all know somebody that's struggling with drugs, um, addiction, that's struggling with depression, that's struggling with hunger. You may not know a person directly that's homeless, but I tell people all the time, if you over the age of 18 and you are not, this is gonna hit you hard now, so y'all wrap around this real good. You are over the age of 18. You're not in college, or maybe you finished college, and you don't have an address with your name on the lease or the mortgage note. You don't have your name on a light bill, a water bill. In fact, your name ain't on nothing, and you are living with somebody. You're living with somebody. Consider yourself blessed that you have somewhere that you can go, because there are people who cannot knock on the door of a relative and ask to live there for whatever reason. They're outside. But you're no different, really, than that homeless person, other than you have the blessing of a family that can keep you safe and sheltered from the outside elements and the other things that come to get you when you have nowhere to go. So that's another blessing in itself in 2023. So as we look into 2023, Whatever it is that you're going through, always remember that there is somebody else off worse than you. Always. So, what does God give you the ability to do to help change? If it's just one, it may be your own child. It may not be a stranger. It may not be somebody else's kid or loved one. It may be your own child that you bless. You know, there's another saying that says charity starts at home and then spreads abroad. So start with your own house. My kids know they are welcome to stay home. I have rules. I have rules. I have rules. And sometimes my rules may be strict. But God, I was thinking about something that happened in the Bible, and it happened in Genesis with Adam and Eve. God gave Adam everything, Karen, everything, and He made him dominion over the animals, the garden, everything that he wanted. He wasn't hungry, you know. Even took one of his ribs and gave him a woman. He said, "You know what? You look kind of pitiful. I think you need a soulmate with you. I'm not gonna do you like that. I'm gonna give you a soulmate. You ain't gotta do nothing to earn this. It's just because I love you. I created you in my own image. It's like our own children. We create them, don't we? We create our children. And if we can, we try to give them the world, just like God did. He gave him dominion over all the animals, the garden, the food. Only thing he had a rule. God had a rule. He said, whatever you do, I don't care what you can have everything in this garden. Don't eat from that tree right there. And I mean don't eat from that tree right there. I'm gonna give you everything you want. You ain't gotta want for nothing. You got it easy. Adam had it easy. He had it easy. He didn't want for nothing. And that wife, that could be some of your friends out there, persuading you to do something. But Eve got away from the garden. She got away. That's the first thing Adam did. He said, "You over all everything. You over Eve too." So he's supposed to been what? Watching Eve. Eve done snuck out. She done got out. And they say she met a snake. Now I like to say symbolically, the snake could be, on slick Rick, you know, somebody, a friend that ain't no good for nothing. We got these friends that they ain't no good for nothing. They ain't right. And she got with him. And the snake tried to get her to eat off of the tree of life, that forbidden fruit. And she said, "Well, I can't eat off that tree." That's one thing that Adam and God told me we ain't supposed to eat off of. I don't want to eat off that tree. And then the devil said, "You know why God don't want you to eat off that tree?" And she entertained him. She entertained him. She said, "Why don't God want me to eat off that tree?" And he said, "'Cause he know if you eat off that tree, you're gonna be as smart as him. You're gonna be wise. And your eyes gonna be open. He don't want you to be smart. He wants you to stay dumb. He don't want you to be wise." Isn't that what some of our friends do? You know? You know, the only reason why you can't do this and that is because this and that. You need to just come on, hang out with us. We show you a good time, you know? And we know we ain't supposed to go with your friends down there to Club Jahari back in the day, you know. What's the new club out now? They got a bunch of them. And we start drinking and then they said, that right there, we try this right here. We know we ain't got no business trying drugs, but we out there having a good time trying to be cool. So sometimes we want to be accepted. So Eve wanted to be socially accepted by old Sick Rick. And she took a bite of the forbidden fruit. And when she did, her eyes were open. All of a sudden, she knew she was naked. Didn't know she was naked all this time. See, sometimes our kids don't know nothing, or sometimes we don't know nothing because we've been sheltered, protected from the evils of the world. That's what God. God did not want them to get a hold of the evils of the world. Evil has always been there. Evil has always been there. And we'll talk about that another day. But she went back into the garden. You know she had to be fine. You know, God made her fine. She had a Coca-Cola bottle shape. And you know, men when they see us with a Coca-Cola bottle shape, sometimes they can resist us. You know, and that's what God wanted. He wanted him not to resist Eve. He wanted him to, he gave to her. He wanted him to really love her. So she came twisting back up in the garden. This is the way I see it now. Now, y'all preachers that out there listening to me, you can call me after the show, 423-331-8878 if you don't like my rendition of what the Bible was trying to teach us in this story with Adam and Eve. But she twisted her little fine self back into the garden and coerced Adam to eat the forbidden fruit. And so people always say, well, it was Eve's fault. She the one that came brought that stuff back in the garden. It wasn't Adam, it was the woman. Well, you know what? It was both their fault. It was both their fault because once she had taken of the forbidden fruit and came twisting her little fine self back into the garden and told Adam to eat of the forbidden fruit, Adam was supposed to knock that fruit out of her hand and say, "Get that stuff out of this house." That devil, that's the devil. There ain't nothing but the devil. God said, "Don't eat." He's supposed to have put her in her place because he was supposed to follow God's order. And to this day, that's the order. It's God and your family, and the man is head of the family, and then the church, and then everything else. So the man is supposed to follow God's order. Because if the man is following God's order, then your house won't be out of order. You see? You're supposed to love Jesus the way Jesus, the Lord our God, loved the church. And if that's in order, then you won't have what's happening in our families. That's what's out of order. In 2023, we're going to get our houses in order. I'm going to get my house in order. You know, Karen's going to get her house in order because we only here for just a little while. This world is not our home. We're just here to help the Lord on the battlefield as he tell us to. We ain't supposed to get in front of him like Dr. Woods was trying to do. I didn't know I was doing it, Lord, but I get you. You know, when you get out there in front of the Lord and you're going the wrong way, he won't let you mess up his plan because why? The Bible is already written from the beginning to the end. And if anybody get in his way, because it's not going to return void, and the word in the Bible is the truth. It's the truth. So if you get in the way of the truth and you on the battlefield for him, if he have to knock you down and make you have a stroke, make you have seizures, whatever he got to do to get you to stop because you're going the wrong way, so be it. I ain't mad. I wake up every morning and say, thank you, God. Thank you, Lord. And thank you for being my shelter, my hedge of protection. Thank you for pulling me back because I was going too far the wrong way. And I want to work on the battlefield for you, not for me, but for you. So I thank you for spanking me. I thank you for knocking me down, head face forward into the concrete, doing something profound to my hard-headed self, to my stubborn bullheaded self, which you created. You think our spirits were not created. He created this spirit, but the spirit has to be in line with what he wants me to do and use it for. Everybody wasn't born with this spirit. Sometimes I say I wish I was softer, more passionate, more soft spoken, you know. He got something for those people to do. They doing other works for the Lord. They can't do what I do. because they ain't got the spirit that I've got, that God gave me. And I cannot do what they do because God did not put that spirit in me. He don't want me to be soft. He don't want me to be what you call all what you call it, soft and gooey and all that stuff. He got work for me to do. And when you're soft and passionate and loving and, all of that gooey stuff, sometimes people won't take you serious. And when you got something serious to do, you need to have that type of spirit in you that allows things to get done. So yes, I do know that my spirit sometimes can be, in some people's eyes, um, mean, dogmatic, whatever you call it. But God created me because there's work that He needs me to do, and He can't have me in that other spirit because I won't be able to get it done. And there's work on the battlefield that He needs women and men to do. So I don't try to take on a man's spirit or a man's role. I'm a woman in a woman's role doing what God want me to do in this spirit that I am. So I thank Him for that because think about it. When you go through medical school, if you sob and cry and break down at the wind and you're timid and frail and, cry at the whim and can't get back up and just feeling sorry. Do you think you can finish dental school? I don't think you can. It's a spirit. There are people that kill themselves and commit suicide in medical and dental school all the time because maybe their parents wanted them to be a dentist. Maybe their parents wanted them to be a medical doctor. Maybe they didn't have the spirit that is needed to finish a curriculum of that magnitude. So I always say that God created this spirit in me because I was born poor to a welfare mom that didn't have anything. We didn't have anything. We ate beanie weenies all the time, pork and beans, hot dogs cut up. Then we had the hot dogs fried. Then we had the hot dog boiled, you know. We had the eggs fried, scrambled. We had food cooked in many different types of ways, and we thought we had different meals. Every time it was prepared differently, you know? That's a poor man's story, you know? We didn't have steak, stuff like that. Steak? What's a steak? You know? And so, when you're born into poverty and you're poverty-stricken, God had to do something different with me to help break the poverty cycle, and that I am forever grateful for, and I don't apologize for that. I have to work a little bit on my roughness around the edge, because I think sometimes that tough side of me sometimes can be overbearing for other people, especially people who are timid, you know? And I say all the time, and this is not to, say anything bad about any ethnic group, but sometimes I tell people I have to put on my Amy voice, you know? Uh, I have to put on my Becky voice, my soft voice, because the Elenor voice is deep, it's strong, it's bold, and sometimes it can be loud. And so for other people to receive you, you have to be able to know the different dynamics upon which you need to be in order to be received. So that's what I'm gonna work on even more. I started working on it in 2022, but I'm gonna work on that more. Putting myself on the other side of the fence, and my children have put me in my place with that, you know, because they're not as they're not as strong and bold as their mother, and I have probably been overbearing because of the way I was brought up, and not knowing any other way to give it but the straight up way. And if you've got children who you've sheltered and protected, and they've been in good environments that I wasn't always in, but they've not had to experience that. So my toughness being exerted on my children, it can have a overwhelming backfire effect. So those are the things that, and my son is here. He's one of the engineers. Those are the things that I'm going to work on. Why? Because God made them differently, and I need to understand my strength sometimes can be overbearing for the other person who was not born with those strengths and those spirits. So if we all could learn how to put ourselves in the other person's position and try to feel where they're coming from, then we'll also have better relationships with one another. And that's what I'm going to do a little bit more of. And I tell you, that's hard because you have to turn it on and turn it off. And sometimes it's hard, Karen, to turn when you turn it all the way on, all the way up to high, to be able to have to come all the way back down to low. It's hard. And that makes your brain go, ooh, 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 you know, and that's hard to do. So that is my prayer that the Lord will grant me the wisdom to learn how to balance myself with all the strength that He's given me in order to be a blessing to not only my children, but to other people that I have to work with in the community and continue to do His will at the same time. I think that's the lesson for me in 2022 that I'm going to take into 2023. Forget about 2022, except for the scars, because we got scars. I'll leave those scars there because we want you to remember. Remember when you did that? This happened. So it's not to forget it, but we want to not, I call it linger and start just, getting, our emotions attached to those experiences that were not so good, but remember those experiences. Two, don't spend so much. Try to conserve. I know Karen don't have no problem with that, but I do. And so spending less, maybe invest in some stuff. Maybe we could save more, do more in that area. Um, Continue to love our family and spend more because that's all we really got at the end of the day. I just attended a funeral. We buried my cousin. He was a Vietnam veteran and a Desert Storm veteran. It was the most beautiful funeral this past week. Um, uh, I want to send again my condolences live on the air to my cousin Brenda Taylor. They were married 50 years. Shanae, Shawana, and their brother, you know, beautiful children. So we want to show some pictures. Yeah, some stuff we were talking about. Go ahead and show those pictures. But I want to, just say, to my family, I love you, and we are always here for you. I'm always here, at least I know I am. But our family is a very loving and caring family. Um, so what you're seeing on the screen now is a picture of the studio. We're sitting on the inside of it. Um, that little window is the window on the other side of this room where you come in and you're in the reception area. We call it the audience. You can actually look through the window and see us on the radio station live, and it's not distracting to the host. Because at first it was no wall, there was no room, and we were just all in one big room, and it was very distracting. So God blessed us to be able to renovate the radio station room so that it can really do what it's supposed to do and function the way it's supposed to function. And of course, this is a nonprofit radio station, and our goal is to keep the community informed about everything that's going on, give people the opportunity to come on and talk about their businesses in our community, and basically just give back to the community in the way God blessed us with this radio station to be able to do. And so I thank God for the vision that He put in me to uh, go to the FCC and write and fill out the application and plead the blood of Jesus to grant us licensures to go on the air. We broadcast live 24/7 on WPTP 100.1 FM radio. We're live on WPTP 1001FM.com. We're on our website. That's our website and our Facebook page. You can get us on Facebook, WPTP 100.1 FM. We love for you to join our group. So every time we go on live, it'll send you a little ding, let you know we're on live. And then we're also on YouTube and Instagram, WPTP 100.1 Radio. So make sure that you join our group, and because we're the only nonprofit Black-owned radio station in the city. WNOO, which is our family as well, they are commercial, and they've been around. Uh, at one time, that was the only Black radio station, and they're still kicking it live over there. Kudos, Mr. Clear and the family. I call them our extended family over there. We love them. We still go over there and do stuff on WNOO. And we got people on his show. They have shows there that come over here and do shows here. And we just thank the Lord for allowing us to continue to do what we do and serve the community, especially the indigent population, the underserved community, the marginalized communities, which is including the community of color, just to keep us abreast of what's going on in our community. Because sometimes the other radio stations don't hit it, and we just want to turn on to a Black-owned radio station and really hear the gospel truth and have it micro focused on communities of color. And because that way you know it's not defocused in other areas. It's focused primarily on marginalized communities, and that's what we do best here. Um, we also have other pictures that Michael, we want you to show the event hall. Um, we were blessed to be able to update our event hall. Y'all see those floors shining, those LED chandelier lights shining on the floor, look like water. Um, I just want to thank again Riverside Electric and our people for coming in and revamping our floors. I mean, it looked like water. It's beautiful. Um, so if you need an event hall and you don't know, where to go, and perhaps maybe prices elsewhere you checked has been a little too high, then you need to consider our community center, our community event hall, and let us help your dream become a reality. We do weddings here, receptions. We also do anniversary, uh, family get-togethers, repasts. And we're trying to shoot to do the Super Bowl here. We've got a beautiful area that's part of the event hall. We have a big bar and area over there. Beautiful. Um, I don't know if we've got a picture of that, but we've got a large area with the pool tables and all of that. We're installing big screen TVs. We do have internet thanks to EPB. They have wired this whole building. This building is 48,000 square feet, and we renew our grant every year with agreement with FCC because we're in the poorest, one of the poorest communities of Hamilton County. And one of the things that the FCC communications director asked me when she visited Chattanooga was, "How is EPB treating poor people in this community?" And I said, "Well, it would be really nice if they would have access to the internet here at our community center." And it was granted. And so we are, thank God, blessed by EPB to continue to provide Wi-Fi services and our phone services here for the people in this community. You can come in, we've got a whole computer center, whole room where if you need to go online and fill out applications, do your homework. We've been open for that before COVID. Our children, and we have a whole village across the street, Emma Willer Home, plenty of children and adults. You all are welcome. Anybody in this city, you're welcome to come here and use our facility. I wanna give a shout out to Goodwill. You all are amazing people. We have partnered with them. We are a host of Goodwill. So if you need a job and you're with, they've got a wonderful STEP program. If you're 55 and older, then they'll pay your salary to come here. We are a host agency and work in this facility. We have many job opportunities here. We have a thrift store. Um, I've let them know we need a good 2 people in there to work the thrift store. We have receptionist position for the front desk. When people come in, they wanna know what they can do here or just basic information. We have 2 positions there. We have 2 administrative positions open. We also have 2 positions open for custodial care and, maintenance and upkeep of our facility and grounds on the outside. I wanna thank, Gil Weidman, who is our, groundskeeper, maintenance person here, building I'm calling our director over the building, but he needs help. We have 48,000 square feet of space, and so he'll be the person that you'll be working with, here at the facility, um, to make sure that you know what you're supposed to do. We have job, I call them, descriptions on what you're supposed to do in each one of those categories. Cassandra Weidman, who is our vice president on the board. We have a lot of things that she and I have pulled together and working together. We'll meet up again tomorrow on New Year's Day to talk about 2023 and the vision, of course, moving forward with Autumn Park Development Corporation. Autumn Park Development Corporation is a Black-owned and operated 501(c)(3) CDC, that's Community Development Corporation, that is sanctioned by the federal government and sanctioned by the Secretary of State, Trey Hargott, to do what we do here in this community. We're the only CDC left in this community for our people and marginalized communities. We have to be here. We have to continue to serve the people in our community. Without these organizations like Auburn Park Development Corporation, where would we be? We've been here since 1998. We have cleaned up our whole community. When Alton Park was considered well, actually, when the city of Chattanooga was considered the dirtiest city in America, it was Alton Park Development Corporation that was formed to clean the city up. We have cleaned up the creeks. We have gotten rid of some of the most polluting factories out here in the city of Chattanooga and made it more wholesome. And I know a lot of people are struggling with health illnesses as a result of those factories and as a result of the creek being contaminated in the fish. But we are now in a new era. We're in a new era, and we're still in the business of helping people. We have an entire um, dental clinic out here for those who definitely need the dental help. Um, if you're sick and you got uh, dental infections, your face is swollen. Nowhere in America should anybody die because they don't have the money to go get a tooth pulled, something that's $100 less because they don't have the money, or they don't have the insurance, or can't afford it, or nobody will see them. We have a dental mercy clinic right here in this facility. We have one of the best thrift stores out here. We got all kinds of stuff. We're gonna show pictures of that as we continue to do our show here. We've got furniture, we've got beds, brand new mattresses still wrapped up in the plastic. We've got sofas and sofa sleepers. We've got dining room tables and clothing, baby clothes, teenage clothes, shoes, hats, purses. We just got a little bit of everything. You all are pouring out blessings from this community into the Mama Lou's thrift store. Mama Lou, because Mama Lou was my mama, and she was thriftiest person. If anybody knew my mama, y'all know that she did some thrifting, and if it was more than $1 or 2, she'd say, "That's too much to be in the thrift store. I'm not paying that. That should be a quarter." And she could bargain her price. I'm telling you. So this thrift store is in honor of Mama Lou, and our prices are at a price that you won't believe. So please come out. When we get our store opened up in the new year, Goodwill has got some folks that are gonna be working it. Megan, I wanna thank her. She works at a thrift store now. Bethel, shouldn't be calling names, but she knows what she's doing, and she's been, pricing. She does price checking. She goes on the internet. She looks up what should this cost, and, she said, "Mom, some of these prices are too high. You shouldn't charge that. This should be a 50 cent. It shouldn't be a dollar." Okay. So she's got the gun out and she's pricing stuff. So I wanna thank her for spending her time, and she's volunteered her time to go in to make the thrift store good for everybody that comes in. Um, we got some stuff that I didn't even know was expensive, Karen. We got some folks that have donated some novelty stuff, and we sold some novelty stuff not knowing it was novelty stuff, but we have those kinds of things too. So what I'm saying to you is, come out to our thrift store, Mama Lou's thrift store, use our services, and don't forget to donate because we have things that, as an organization, we have to pay for every day. Our lights, our water, our sewage, our taxes, you know, in order to keep this building in the condition that it's in and to keep the lights, water, and property taxes paid, we need you to donate. You may not have but $5 or $10, whatever you got. You can use your card and go to our website, click on donate, and use your card. It goes straight to our nonprofit bank account. And guess what, y'all? It's tax deductible. You can write it off, every penny of it. So any organizations out there, corporate America, if you're listening, we sent a lot of you all letters. I want to thank EPB. I want to thank Erlanger. I want to thank Taylor Funeral Home. I want to thank uh, some of the grocery stores. I mean, there's so many I just can't name them all. I want to thank all of you for being there for us, for giving us donations, even the radio station to keep us on the air. There's things we have to pay in the radio station, even though it's nonprofit, we still gotta pay for stuff. We need new computers. I was told we need new computers in here. We need a new monitors for the waiting area. We need new speakers for the waiting area. I'm like, wait, whoa, hold on, this one thing at a time. But there's always something that you need, even in the nonprofit that we have to continue to update. I wanna thank, our marketing director, uh, Dr. Slyman. You are the bomb. We were in the dark ages. We were only on 100.1 FM, and you all know that's low frequency, so we could get maybe 10 to 15 miles outside of the coverage area where we are. But now because of him, he's brought us into the digital age. So what we know about the digital age, people get on their computers all day long and go to Facebook and YouTube, and we're able to store every program that comes on. If you missed the show, you can always go later on tonight and pull it up, watch it. If you missed Tony's show or some of our other talk show hosts, you can always go back and go in our library and pull it up and watch it. It's there. So thank you for bringing that aspect, that part of WPTP 100.1 FM radio to life. You know, we cannot undervalue everybody's part in what they've done here at Autumn Park Development Corporation. Gil, the stuff that you've done to get us on the air, we know that we've had some help with our first DJ. He helped and trained you, but because of you, we were able to go on the air. You put a lot of the music, all the music actually that's stored on it. So if y'all got any complaints about the music, you don't like the music, then write us and let us know what you'd like to hear. But we are an all jazz gospel inspiration radio station, and we do old school R&B. Just let us know what you like to hear. We go live, so there's a chance that when we're live, you can call in 423-713-6737. 7614. We can play your favorite tune. Um, we want to thank Tony Boston. His way is just phenomenal. The way that he's able to attract people of all diverse backgrounds from all over the world and bring them live in the studio. We want to thank him. Um, Jimmy Allgood, if you're out there listening, um, you're an amazing artist. We're going to continue to support and promote your music and what you do. Um, we know you're in Milwaukee now, and I hope you're healing. I understand you had a fall and broke a rib. We were looking for you to come to the big gala that was phenomenal. It was outstanding. It was a success. Um, and I just want to thank everybody for whatever part of role UTC. You all, were there to support financially and they're visibly. Uh, Public Education Foundation. You all were there both financially and visibly. Thank you for your contribution. Just all the folk, Gil Cash Property. I had a table. It was just so many people that sowed seeds into that event. It was an amazing event. The lighting crew, the sound people, all of you all that were there that made that night memorable for all of the people who received the 2022 Humanitarian Award. You made it special for them. They'll never forget it. We had 7 of them honored. Um, Pastor Alfred Johnson, you're forever in our hearts. Uh, Dr. Edna Bonner, Judge Rob Billiard, um, Attorney Reuben Taylor, who's also the county attorney for Hamilton County, Bishop Kevin Adams, uh, my soror, Latrice Curry, Attorney Robin Flores. Uh, did I leave anybody's name off? I think I called everybody. Uh, you all made the event special, and you made it special because people need to see what you are doing in your everyday life, and people don't know the seeds that you have sown into this community. And by the way, the qualification is you had to sow in at least 10 years. And not just in Chattanooga, but you went outside the walls of Chattanooga into the state and nationally, internationally. Bishop Kevin Adams, all over in Israel, all over in Africa, everywhere. All the things you've done. Pastor Alfred Johnson, sowing seeds into those people's lives that come home from prison and have no direction, nowhere to go. We thank you. We thank you for giving us this opportunity because it could have been you in this building. Remember, you were petitioned by a church that actually won the auction on this building. But your heart, what you sowed into this seed could not be replaced. What you sowed, the seed that you sowed, cannot be replaced because you could have been right here in this building with all of those folks that you helped. But God spoke to your heart and you let it go so that Autumn Park Development Corporation could continue to do the good things that we've done since 1998. And we really thank you. And I know God has a crown. I tell you all the time, God has already got your crown stored up in heaven. And you can use this facility whenever you want to, because we think that it's yours too. We think it's ours and we think it's yours too. You need a room, you need us to do anything, you need to come on the air and talk about your program, whatever. We thank you. We thank God for you. Judge Philliard for those children, protecting our kids' lives every single day. We thank you for that. We know you have tough choices to make, but those tough choices had to be made to protect our kids. When you think about it, there's not too many higher callings than that. Is to protect our children. And Dr. Varner, oh my God, you know what I told you? Education, education, education. Sowing seeds into the lives of our kids, all the boards that you're on, to help make sure that they get the best quality of life and the best education that they can get, even grown folks that you help with the boards that you've served on. It just can't you cannot be replaced. I always say people can be replaced, but you might can be replaced, but what you're doing right now, we thank God for it. We thank God for it. We thank you for that. And Soraya Latrice, you got a big calling on your life as you are now the new president of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. I'm sitting next to our will be former in a few more hours, president of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority, the best, great, most high sorority in the world and the universe. She has served 2 terms, and I want to thank you publicly on the radio and on Facebook for all that you have done for Alpha Kappa Alpha and all the people that Alpha Kappa Alpha serve beyond our sorority. You have done a magnificent job. It's hard to put up with independent, strong-minded Black women, but you did it. So anything that any of us have ever said that might hurt your feeling or whatever, don't take it to heart. We just strong, independent, minded, thinking Black women, and we all got our minds, and we all think that it should go this way. But you have to be strong to deal with strong women. So I think you one of the strongest women in the world because you put up with me and folks like me, and I just thank you. And you're gonna be blessed for that. You already blessed, and so I want to say thank you for a job well done. Thank you so much. And Latrice, now the torch is being passed to you, sworn you in, and we're gonna be there for you as well. Alpha Kappa Alpha is making leaps and bounds across the world, and we have done so much since our uh, inception in 1908, Howard University, to advance the lives of women politically, socially, financially, just all those spiritually, you name it. We have done it. And I always say we're the first and we're the best. We're often imitated but never duplicated. But we have so many other sororities and fraternities out there that are doing great and magnificent things. Delta Sigma Theta, Zeta Phi Beta, Sigma Gamma Rho, Alpha Phi Alpha, Beta Psi Phi, Kappa Alpha Psi, Sigma Phi Beta Sigma, the divine nine, as we call them. Keep on doing the good work because once upon a time, these nonprofit organizations that we're seeing right now, we were nowhere, and all we had was the divine nine. And we still are relevant today. And I thank God for the divine nine. I thank God for placing me with Alpha Kappa Alpha. He could have placed me anywhere and I would have served. But I thank him for putting me with Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. And I think I've come on my 33 years. I'm silver. I'm working toward gold. Um, so it's been a excellent experience for me. And it has enhanced my life. It has cultured me even more, and just really, when I think about things I would do, I think about the effect it might have on my sorority, and we got a good name, so I try to stay out of trouble, Karen. I really try to stay out of trouble because our sorority is renowned, and we have great respect all around the world. The first Black and first female vice president, Camilla Harris, is an Alpha Kappa Alpha woman. The first woman to sit on the bus, and not give up her seat, Rosa Parks, is an Alpha Kappa Alpha woman. We have so many firsts that are Alpha Kappa Alpha women. Mae Simpson, the first Black female woman to ever fly out of space. First Black female astronaut. It's an Alpha Kappa Alpha woman. We just have so many. I just don't even want to start naming. It's just so many. We just good like that. We just good like that. And so we're making changes all around the world So if you see me doing things, just remember that's that Alpha Kappa Alpha woman, doing what Alpha Kappa Alpha women do. We don't just make changes; we set trends. And so I thank God for our sorority and what it has done in our community and abroad and nationwide. And I think on that note, we want to talk about the one last thing because that's where we're headed at 6 o'clock. Before I go to church, I'm going to church, Pastor. So don't think I'm not coming to church. But this young lady that is having her event today, it's a big fashion event. She's my niece. She's my niece. I've got to support my niece, Vanita. V V is having a big event, and I'm going to let Karen talk about that. Where it is, the ticket price. Uh, um, uh, uh, um, Also, Park Development Corporation and WPTP Radio is a sponsor of this event tonight, and I will be there to represent our organization and tell us a little bit about what's happening, what we can expect.
Well, V Rhodes, who's my daughter, is spearheading this event. Is She's launching her new company, which is which is SII, and they're presenting punk renaissance. This is a edgy the edginess of punk era, which merges with the romanticism of the Renaissance era, and it's a fashion experience that they're creating. And so, tickets are $40, and she will be at the Humanite, which is at 1404 Coward Street. And this event starts at 6 o'clock. It's a fashion show. It's a fashion experience where I have on one of the outfits of the fashion designer. It's Juanita Montgomery who they'll be promoting tonight, and she calls her designs discombobulated. And so we'll also have Suevo there, and other things will be going on as well.
More vendors.
More vendors will be there. Um, it's gonna be a nice event, um, to bring in the new year, and so come out 6 o'clock at the Humanite, um, 1404 Coward Street from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock, and you'll, experience, punk renaissance, which is a fashion experience that will be going on tonight.
All right. So you all know I've changed. Well, I'm not going back home, so I kind of see my dress for the event, and I have put on uh, my other piece, which is my fur collar. Before I went on the show today, I said, "Is this too much?" Cameron thought it might have been too much. She said, "But it's you though." And my son William said, "No, it's fine." But I said, "Well, I'm gonna take it off because maybe it is a little too much." But y'all, I'm gonna be stepping into fashion tonight. This is the Dr. Elenora Woods, also known as the Fashion Queen, the Diva, and I am ready for tonight. I won't be in the discombobulated outfit. I'm gonna be in the Diva outfit you see I've got on now. I am ready to kill it tonight. And after I kill it tonight with the fashion show, I am going to head. You all know where I'm going. You know I gotta go to church because none of this would be possible if it wasn't for the Lord. I'm not gonna be drinking. I'm not gonna be doing none of that stuff. Y'all know me. I'm a sweet girl and I do sweet things. And so this is gonna be a really sweet event. So I think it's $40 for the ticket at the door,
$40.
$40 at the ticket at the door, and we have made our contribution to this wonderful event. These are young people. Come on, we in our 50s now. We done made it, Karen. We done did some stuff. These young people need our support. They need us to come out and see what they can do. I want to see what they can do. We always talking about what we have done, what we can do. What can the young people do? This is your chance to show us old people. We call us old. They say we old fashioned. We are. I don't think I'm old fashioned, but I might be a little bit creeping on the old side. But I'm not old fashioned, okay? But I want to see what you young people got going on, and I'm gonna sit back and enjoy looking at what God has blessed you all with your talents and skills, your fashion. She makes all of her clothes. She designs her clothes. And I'm just really, I think I'm gonna buy me one of these. They got leather jackets with that discombobulated, and she does everything by hand.
Right.
She does everything by hand, and I'm gonna buy me one of those leather discombobulated jackets. I'm gonna get William, my son, since he likes fashion, kind of wild fashion stuff, to buy him a leather. You listen to me, William? A leather discombobulated jacket made for men, and I'm gonna buy me one. I'm gonna step out with my blue jeans with my discombobulated. I can't wear what they call them stilettos no more. My knees and got too old, y'all. I can't do it. But I have on some fashionable shoes and boots that I can walk and strut in. Okay, so I'm gonna buy me a jacket tonight. Okay, and so we went over our time, but this is the new year. I wanted to bring it in right with WPTP. Thank all of you, our listeners. Don't forget, donate to all the programs. If you don't know what to do with all that money you got or the little money you might have that you want to help somebody with because somebody helped you once before, twice, or 3 or 4 times, go to our website. It's APDC 98.org. That stands for Alton Park Development Corporation. If you forget the acronym, APDC 98, which is the year we were formed, .org. Click on the donate button. I don't care if you give $1. I don't care if you give 5, 10, 20, a million, 2 million, 5 million. Oh, okay, I'm gonna stop. Whatever you have to give is going to help us to help somebody else. Um, our staff, our board, they're all volunteers. We don't get paid for doing any of this. It's because it's from the bottom of our heart. And so we are here to serve the people. God has blessed us tremendously to be on the board. Karen's on the board. We've got a lot of other folks that are on the board doing wonderful things and being a part of this wonderful organization. We need your help. So come on out and help us. Make that your New Year's thing to do. APC98.org. Click on donate, and you've got several categories that you can donate to. You don't have to donate to the radio station. You can donate to the thrift store. You can donate to the youth program. You can donate to the renovation project. There's other things that you can donate to. You may want to donate to all of them. Whatever. Just donate. It'll all be appreciated. And if you want a receipt for anything, if you don't get a receipt generated from the computer and you just want to feel more comfortable about coming picking it up, you can come by the radio station to pick up your receipt. Of all the corporations that are out there, we're going to be hitting you all January the 2nd. We're going to let you all rest on the 1st. But come January the 2nd, all of y'all that said you ran out of money because it's the end of the year, blah, 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 blah. We're gonna come back for you because we know that you have money and you invest in the community every day, and we want people to know that you're investing because they use your services, and we want people to feel good about providing about using your services that you provide. So come on, Home Depot. Come on, some of the other companies. Uh, Reese Bank, Bank of America, First Tennessee, First Horizon, all of y'all banks out there. We're gonna be calling you. We're gonna be writing you letters, Erlanger, Park Ridge, Memorial Hospital, all your hospitals, everybody that's out there, your stores, your bakeries, Food City, Food Line, all of y'all. We're gonna be calling upon you to give back to a worthy cause to help people of this community. We got homeless people right on the backside of our building that we see every time we pull up this radio station, and it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. We've got to help these homeless people. I'm calling on the mayor, Mayor Kelly, Mayor, um, what's the other mayor? Wesley Wamp, Mayor Wamp. I'm calling on you all. Please help these people. If you don't do nothing but offer them a job to get off the street, or offer them a warm place to get off the street, some food to eat. When I leave here, when I leave out of this driveway, I've got some food and some money. I'm gonna give them some food and some money to help them. I'm gonna bring my New Year in helping some homeless people and giving them something that they can use to maybe buy a warm blanket or something. And one day we're gonna open up our thrift store and we're gonna let them come in and buy, not buy, just get them an outfit, to keep them warm. We got blankets, we got everything. We want to help. So thank you all the folks that have donated to the thrift store, to the organization, from the bottom of Alton Park Development Corporation's heart, and our board members and the people that we serve. We say thank you and happy holidays and happy new year. I'll see you in 2023. Thank you for listening.